What's going on, guys? It's NYPrepper here. In this video, I will discuss the importance of being adaptable after a long-term SHTF event, and I will share the top 10 most important things that I think you will need to make you an adaptable prepper. So adaptability is critically important after a long-term SHTF event because SHTF is very dynamic, and the challenges that you will face after SHTF will change greatly from one day to the next. Even if you think you have prepared and planned for every possible scenario, there will be situations that arise that you will not be prepared for or that will catch you by surprise. No matter how well prepped, experienced, or trained you think you are, there will be situations that arise that will challenge you. And people who have a hard time adapting to challenges will not survive SHTF, or they will have a very hard time. So I'm going to list the top 10 most important things that I think you will need to make you an adaptable prepper. And I'm going to start with the least important thing and work my way down to the most important thing. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Number 10, adaptability and diversity of gear and preps. Your gear and preps will need to be adaptable and diverse enough to cover a wide variety of climates, terrain, and situations. It's not good enough to only have your preps and gear tailored to one particular type of terrain, climate, or threat, because if the climate, terrain, or threat changes, you're going to be in a difficult situation. For example, you may live in the southern United States and never see snow or cold temperatures. But what if SHTF forces you to flee to a safer location in the north? For example, what if there's a major hurricane a few months after a grid down situation? If all of your gear and preps are tailored towards the tropical lowlands found in the south, you will freeze once you reach the north. Another example is if all of your weapons are AR-15s with short barrels, like an AR pistol in 300 Blackout, because you expect most of your engagements to be at close ranges and against soft targets. Well, you're going to be handicapped at longer ranges or in situations where you need a little more punch, like when dealing with larger threats, armored threats, or threats behind cover. You never know what SHTF will throw at you. So having gear and preps that can cover a wide variety of climates, terrain, and threats is smart. An example of an adaptable piece of gear is, instead of having that AR pistol in 300 Blackout, get yourself an AR with an 18-inch barrel in 308, which will still be pretty good close quarters, but it will give you a lot more range and a lot more punch, and thus will be much better for a wide variety of threats and uses, such as hunting or being a designated marksman. An example of diversity of gear would mean that you have boots and clothing not just for hot climates, but also for cold climates. Having gear and preps that are both diverse and adaptable to different climate, threats, terrain, and situations will help you become an adaptable prepper. Number 9, knowledge. Having a wide variety of knowledge on different topics will be critical because Google searches will be gone, and you won't have time to read books if you can even find any. You're not going to be able to just run down to your local library and grab an encyclopedia or some type of book that you need to get information on something. So you need to build up your knowledge level on a variety of different topics, because if a certain challenge arises that you're not prepared for, Having knowledge will help you to adapt quicker to that challenge. Some things that you may want to study before SHTF happens are nuclear war survival, wilderness survival, marksmanship, farming, wild edibles, medical, and a variety of other topics. The more knowledge you have, the more adaptable of a prepper you will be. Number 8, exposure to danger and stress. Having exposure to any stressful or dangerous situation builds up your mental fortitude and is good practice for getting better at controlling your mental, emotional, and physiological responses in a challenging situation. Exposing yourself to these types of dangerous or stressful situations prior to SHTF will make you more adaptable because you will be better at managing your mental, emotional, and physiological reactions to an unknown threat or challenge that you've never dealt with before. Number 7, control of emotions. Having control of your emotions is critical for being an adaptable prepper. SHTF is very dynamic and you're going to be faced with a lot of different emotions. You may have to let go of people and places that you are emotionally attached to. Otherwise, you will be stuck in a state of depression or even emotional paralysis where you don't feel like doing anything. You just want to sit around in despair. And then you're not going to be productive and you're going to put yourself at risk. So an example of that might be if you have to bug out from your house that you lived in for the last 10 or 20 years and you're emotionally attached to that house. You've invested a lot of time and effort into it. There may also be friends and family that live nearby, but you know that you have to bug out and leave because the area is not safe anymore. If you can't let go of your emotional ties to that house and to that town that you grew up in or lived in for a while, you're going to have a hard time surviving. And when that area becomes compromised, you're going to be in trouble. Another situation that could arise is you may experience different emotions like fear or loneliness or excitement. So you have to be able to manage and control your emotions if you want to be good at adapting to different scenarios and to be an adaptable prepper. Number 6, thinking outside of the box. Creative solutions that are unconventional will rule SHTF. Creative thinkers will become leaders in their communities after SHTF. Due to the dynamic nature of SHTF, you will need to come up with creative solutions to challenges you have not prepared for or never faced before. Thinking outside of the box will make you an adaptable prepper. Number 5, thinking quickly. Being able to think quickly is critical for being an adaptable prepper. After SHTF, you may find yourself in situations where you have to make sophisticated plans in a short amount of time, and you have to be able to analyze multiple information streams at once. You may not have minutes or hours to figure out what to do. You may only have split seconds in certain cases that could mean the difference between life or death. So being able to analyze multiple information streams in a short amount of time and formulate quick decisions and plans from that information will make you an adaptable prepper. Number 4, experience. Having a wide variety of practical, real-world experience will help you to adapt faster to a challenge because you may have already been in a similar situation before. And if you know what to do in that situation, then it's not going to be much of a challenge. For example, starting a fire, defending yourself, fixing a car, hunting, combat, etc. The more variety of real-world experience you have prior to SHTF, the better off you'll be and the more adaptable you will be. Number 3, diverse set of skills. To be an adaptable prepper, you need to have a wide variety of skills. You will need to be a jack of all trades. You're going to need to know a wide variety of things: mechanics, building, survival, marksmanship, self-defense, fishing, hunting, tracking, camouflage, land navigation, escape and evasion, medicine, etc. Having a diverse set of skills will make you very adaptable. Number 2, physical fitness and health. The second most important thing that will make you an adaptable prepper is your physical fitness and health. You need to have a decent level of physical fitness and health. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete or some kind of superhuman. You just need to have decent fitness and health, so this way you can adapt to different situations. SHTF will test you physically. The more physically fit you are and the healthier you are, the better you will be at adapting to different challenges. And the number one most important thing that you need to be an adaptable prepper is willpower. Willpower is one of the most critical things for SHTF, in my opinion. A lot of preppers overlook the importance of your willpower, and instead they focus more on gear and ammo and stockpiling resources, but they forget willpower. Willpower is what keeps us alive and what gives us the strength to continue on in the face of adversity. And SHTF will be extremely challenging, and if you want to adapt to challenging situations that you never faced before, you're going to have strong willpower, because you're going to be tested physically, you're going to be tested mentally, and you're going to be tested emotionally. So having strong willpower is the most important thing that you need to be an adaptable prepper. You can have all the gear, all the skills, all the experience, the best physical fitness, but if your willpower sucks, you're not going to be an adaptable prepper. There have been many situations of people being lost in the wilderness that had barely any gear and no survival skills or training or experience, and they were able to survive in the wilderness for long periods of time just because they had extreme willpower. So willpower is the most important thing you need to be an adaptable prepper. So this concludes the top 10 list of things that you need to be an adaptable prepper. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. And as always, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.